All right, so let's move on to the next part of this, which is kind of the back way.
Oh, yeah. Fair use.
Fair use, because
absolutely, fair use.
There's a way that you guys can get around this, not illegally and not out of viciousness, but you can get around out of utilizing, bringing up IPs, and that is fair use. Now,
but
fair use comes under a term, and there's 4 factors here.
Yeah.
Again, we are not lawyers. We are literally reading off of Stanford. So let's talk about fair use. What's fair use?
Okay. So fair use is, well, let's talk about the 4 factors.
Yeah.
Fair use. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the 4 factors that a judge uses to consider fair use.
Right.
Okay. The purpose and character of your use, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount, substantiability of the portion taken, and the effect of the use upon the potential market.
The most important thing for you to understand when you are doing fair use, and the reason that Studio Blue is allowed to actually use other people's games and stuff when we do our streams, is because of the transformative factor. That's the purpose.
Yes.
Of the character and your use. Why are you using it? So this is not just fan art we're talking about, guys. This is using someone else's work in a way that is transformative.
So in our example, and in many critiquers' examples,
yes.
Okay, it's for education.
Right.
Okay, it's transformative by educating. So we take the work and we parse it up and we critique it.
Right.
We expound on it.
Right. We are taking beyond it. We're not just playing it.
No.
For the sake of playing it. A let's play without any commentary would not fall under fair use.
No.
A let's play with commentary would.
Yeah, because see, we add value by adding a new insight and new understanding to the original work.
So Lunchbox asks a question: how streamers can play Let's Games and still make money through Twitch? That is the answer is in the question itself. Because when they're doing it, they're adding in commentary, they're interacting with chat, they're reacting to the game. They're showcasing the parts of the game they like, they're showcasing the parts of the game they don't like. They're struggling through it. If a player, if a Twitch streamer is just playing the game with no commentary, no interaction with chat, they're just playing it, that would be the grayer area where a judge would go, and have to look at it.
Right.
If a Let's Player is just playing a game with no commentary, that also is that gray area where the copyright holder, the IP holder, could say, hey, take this down. Now, if you're commenting on it, if you're critiquing it like BG says with the US law, if you're deconstructing it for its good and its bad, as we do, then it falls under fair use's concept of transformative.
Yes.
And at that point, the IP holder doesn't have as much, if any, a legal leg to stand on. That is why anyone who's ever tried to get us to take down a review or a critique of their game that might be critical or even negative, we have said no to.
No.
Because we are giving our honest critique, our professional and personal opinions on the game, its positives and its shortcomings.
Right.
If you don't like it, I'm sorry, improve your game. And that is the harshest you're ever going to hear me talk, guys, because we will give any developer a gazillion chances, but if you bring out the lawyers, you're done.
So, transformative, is educational. Also, they talk about parodies.
Parody! Power to the parody.
Because, when I was reading this, I was thinking of Weird Al and how he takes popular songs and turns them into parodies.
Like a surgeon.
And he is perfectly illegal in doing that because he transforms the original work by giving it a different interpretation.
Yeah, into satire. Power to the satire.
Right.
And that's the thing too, is he has been brought to court.
Yes, he has.
He's been brought to court, and he has won every single time. Now, Wrath is saying Weird Al gets permission. I wouldn't say he's been given permission by the people who sued him. I believe, was it Amish Paradise? I believe that was a bone of contention with the person who created Gangsta Paradise.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's transformative. You get permission. You get permission. If it's transformative, you're gonna get ruled in your favor.
Yeah.
Let's catch up a little bit on the comments here.
Right. So, Wrath. The judge watching Let's Plays with the wig on.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the judges, though. The judges in these cases, it's subjective. There is no hard and fast rule as to what's fair use. It is up to the judge's interpretation, or in the case of a jury, the jury's feelings on the matter.
Correct.
And what would be okay in one courtroom may get struck down in another courtroom.
Right.
So those 4 guidelines,
which we're going to continue,
are just that, guidelines. If you follow them, you're more likely than not likely to prevail.
They're more guidelines than actual rules.
Yeah.
Well, and it's true too, because every situation is also going to be different, which is another reason why the judges and the juries are going to be, are going to treat each lawsuit, each situation differently. Us critiquing a game on stream is not the same thing as Weird Al Yankovic creating a parody song.
Yeah.
So they're going to be treated and judged differently. And yes, as BG says, as Jim Sterling versus whatever the name of that company was, suing someone over a bad review doesn't work. It never does.
It doesn't. It never does.
Never does. So Lunchbox says, I think many big game IP holders see Let's Players as free or cheaper advertising. That is the way to do it.
Well, yeah, that's the way to do it. The way to think of it.
Yes. You want any one of you out there who are developing, big, little, it's solo, it doesn't matter. Anyone who's a Let's Player of your game, positive or negative, that's exposure.
Yes, it is.
If anyone takes the time to make a video about your game, regardless of the tone, that game just got exposure it wouldn't normally get for free. You didn't spend $1.
Yeah.
So, and it was Digital Homicide. That's right. Jim Sterling versus Digital Homicide. How to make a shit show.
Yeah. 3 easy steps.
Okay, and Wrath does say that at one time Weird Al did not get permission. Now he always does.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
And it's always good to get permission. Yeah. Seriously. Get permission.
Get permission. Super easy. Okay, so what are the other factors here? The nature of the work.
The nature of the work.
Right. What is it? You have more leeway. I like this one right here. You have more leeway with factual work, such as biographies, than you do with fictional work, such as plays or fiction. That is why, and this, again, going back to our concept of the Rosenhearts, we can get away with a lot because we use characters that either existed in real life or are in the public domain.
Yes.
And the ones we don't are so much a part of the zeitgeist, like, for example, Phileas Fogg from Around the World in 80 Days, that we can kind of transform them however we desire. If we tried to use Harry Potter in our stuff, I guarantee you J.K. Rowling would be after our asses.
Absolutely.
J.K. Rowling, by the way, did bring a person to court for making a World of Harry Potter compendium.
Yes, they did.
And she won.
Yes, she did.
She won.
Because, and this goes to the next one.
Right.
They took a huge amount.
Yep, right here.
A huge portion of her written words and put them in the compendium.
Yes. The less you take, the more likely your copying, your transformative work will be excused as fair use. So again, it's how much of that game, movie, book, character are you using? Think about it that way. So when you're creating your whatnot of someone else's IP, how much are you going to use? There's another reason why we only play our Let's Plays for about 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
That we're not using the entire thing that's out there. Now, there are a lot of times nowadays people just ask us to do it.
Right.
And they've already asked us, which is giving us permission. But, like, for example, Edge of Eternity, I only played 12 hours of that game. So, both my streams and my review fall under fair use. So, yay.
Yeah.
So that's another thing for you guys to consider when looking at is what I'm creating fair use. How much are you using it?
Yeah. How much are you?
How much?
Lifting from the original.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the last one is the effect upon the potential market that your use has.
Right.
Okay.
Are you making it so that people are going to buy your stuff as opposed to their stuff?
Cannibalizing their sales.
Yes. Cannibalizing their sales. And this is not the same as a bad review, which negatively impacts the sale of a game.
No, it's not.
That is what reviews are. If a person watches a review of a game and decides not to buy that game based on the review, it is not the reviewer's fault.
That's right.
It is a decision that player made based off of information that they decided to disseminate from the review.
Right.
So ultimately, you can't blame a reviewer for a bad review. They've tried that. Actually, I've seen a lot of people sue bad reviewers.
There's been a lot of attempts to do that, and the court has struck it down every single time.
Doesn't work out. So, but that's not the same thing as taking someone's work. And BG just said it. Is the product you're making replacing the need for the product you're speaking of?
There you go.
Basically.
Yeah.
If the answer to that is...
Yeah, Burke said that.
If the answer is yes, it's not fair use. If the answer is no, it is fair use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go down as a dev, that is true. Beyond the scope of this, but absolutely true. If you want to go down as a dev, go after bad reviews.
Yeah, that's true.
Leave it alone, smile, walk on. Any negative comment we ever get in our videos, we just say thank you for the feedback and move on.
Yeah.
And that is good enough for us to stop as far as here goes, because again, at the end of the day, as we're so fond of saying, if you think that your work may not fall under fair use, don't take the chance.
Don't take that chance.
But if you believe that it does fall under fair use, take the chance. Take it.
Rhett, that is true. Spaceballs didn't have any merc.
Nope.
Because it was too close to Star Wars, and the IP holder of Star Wars, which of course we know who that is, said no, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
No.
So what did Mel Brooks do? He did a genius thing where he brought the merchandising part of the movie in. Yeah. Which was absolutely
all those
brilliant.
Products that you saw in that scene were prototypes.
Yeah.
That they were going to produce, and
never did.
They never did.
I wanted Spaceballs the flamethrower.
I did too.
Really did.
Yeah.
That would have been the greatest thing in the universe for me. Spaceballs the flamethrower. The kids love this one. But yeah.
Spaceballs a lunchbox would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Spaceballs the toilet paper. I don't know about that part. I mean, I guess I would like to wipe my ass with President Scrooge, but that's just, that's a little bit of TMI right there. Let's see. Yeah, use the Schwartz.
Use the squirts.
I got the squirts right now. I need my Spaceballs toilet paper.
Oh no.
Yeah. Good comments on critiques, guys, and pretty much love you all to death for that.
Yeah.
We probably should make criticism as one of our things one day. Go over that again. It's been a while since we've talked about it.